Carefully watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Manage and watch your words, for they will become your actions. Consider and judge your actions, for they have become your habits. Acknowledge and watch your habits, for they shall become your values. Understand and embrace your values, for they become your destiny. Relationships are based on 4 principles: respect, understanding, acceptance and appreciation. There are 2 days in the year that we cannot do anything: yesterday and tomorrow. Many people, especially ignorant people, want to punish you for speaking the truth, for being correct, for being you. Never apologize for being correct, or for being years ahead of your time. If you're right and you know it, speak your mind, speak your mind. Even if you are a minority of one, the truth is still the truth. The true measure of any society can be found in how it treats its most vulnerable members. Our greatest ability as humans is not to change the world, but to change ourselves. Keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. Keep your behavior positive because your behavior becomes your habits. Keep your habits positive because your habits become your values. Keep your values positive because your values become your destiny. Vaccination is a barbarous practice and one of the most fatal of all the delusions current in our time. Conscientious objectors to vaccination should stand alone, if need be, against the whole world, in defense of their conviction. If you want to change the world, start with yourself. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. A customer is the most important visitor on our premises. He is not dependent on us. We are dependent on him. He is not an interruption in our work. He is the purpose of it. He is not an outsider in our business. He is part of it. We are not doing him a favor by serving him. He is doing us a favor by giving us an opportunity to do so. When I despair, I remember that all through history the way of truth and love has always won. There have been tyrants and murderers and for a time they seem invincible, but in the end, they always fall. Think of it, always. People say true friends must always hold hands, but true friends don't need to hold hands because they know the other hand will always be there. The world is big enough to satisfy everyone's needs, but will always be too small to satisfy everyone's greed. Forgive and forget, but never forget to forgive. You may find a happier heart is the key to a happier life. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. You may never know what results come of your actions, but if you do nothing, there will be no results. It's the action, not the fruit of the action, that's important. You have to do the right thing. It may not be in your power, may not be in your time, that there'll be any fruit. But that doesn't mean you stop doing the right thing. You may never know what results come from your action. But if you do nothing, there will be no result. I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet. When you are right, you have no need to be angry. When you are wrong, you have no right to be angry. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Truth resides in every human heart, and one has to search for it there, and to be guided by truth as one sees it. But no one has a right to coerce others to act according to his own view of truth. A small group of determined and like-minded people can change the course of history. Silence becomes cowardice when occasion demands speaking out the whole truth and acting accordingly. If you worry about yesterday's failures, then today's successes will be few. The future depends on what we do in the present. Civil disobedience becomes a sacred duty when the state has become lawless or corrupt. And a citizen who barters with such a state shares in its corruption and lawlessness. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Our ability to reach unity in diversity will be the beauty and the test of our civilization. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. You can chain me, you can torture me, you can even destroy this body, but you will never imprison my mind. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny. The greatness of humanity is not in being human, but in being humane. 7 deadly sins: wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, science without humanity, knowledge without character, politics without principle, commerce without morality, worship without sacrifice. There is nothing that wastes the body like worry, and one who has any faith in God should be ashamed to worry about anything whatsoever. Nothing has saddened me so much in life as the hardness of heart of educated people. For me, the different religions are beautiful flowers from the same garden, or they are branches of the same majestic tree. Therefore, they are equally true, though being received and interpreted through human instruments equally imperfect. There is force in the universe, which, if we permit it, will flow through us and produce miraculous results. Terrorism and deception are weapons not of the strong, but of the weak. Government control gives rise to fraud, suppression of truth, intensification of the black market and artificial scarcity. Above all, it unmans the people and deprives them of initiative. It undoes the teaching of self-help. Intolerance is itself a form of violence and an obstacle to the growth of a true democratic spirit. The golden rule of conduct is mutual toleration, seeing that we will never all think alike and we shall see truth in fragment and from different angles of vision. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. 1,000 candles can be lighted from the flame of one candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness can be spread without diminishing that of yourself. Prayer is not asking. It is a longing of the soul. It is daily admission of one's weakness. It is better in prayer to have a heart without words than words without a heart. Education is the basic tool for the development of consciousness and the reconstitution of society. The greatness of a nation can be judged by the way its animals are treated. Hatred is not essential for nationalism. Race hatred will kill the real national spirit. Hesitating to act because the whole vision might not be achieved, or because others do not yet share it, is an attitude that only hinders progress. You cannot succeed in one department of life while cheating on another. Life is an indivisible whole. The greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated. I hold that the more helpless a creature the more entitled it is to protection by man from the cruelty of humankind. The golden way is to be friends with the world and to regard the whole human family as one. Do not judge others. Be your own judge and you will be truly happy. If you will try to judge others, you are likely to burn your fingers. They may torture my body, break my bones, even kill me. Then they will have my dead body, but not my obedience. The most heinous and the most cruel crimes of which history has record have been committed under the cover of religion or equally noble motives. Truth is by nature self-evident. As soon as you remove the cobwebs of ignorance that surround it, it shines clear. The difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing would suffice to solve most of the world's problems. Peace between countries must rest on the solid foundation of love between individuals. Satan mostly employs comparatively moral instruments and the language of ethics to give his aims an air of respectability. A man with a grain of faith in God never loses hope, because he ever believes in the ultimate triumph of truth. Like the bee gathering honey from the different flowers, the wise person accepts the essence of the different scriptures and sees only the good in all religions. A man who was completely innocent, offered himself as a sacrifice for the good of others, including his enemies, and became the ransom of the world. It was a perfect act. There is an orderliness in the universe, there is an unalterable law governing everything and every being that exists or lives. It is no blind law, for no blind law can govern the conduct of living beings. I do regard spinning and weaving as a necessary part of any national system of education. I object to violence because when it appears to do good, the good is only temporary, the evil it does is permanent. Once one assumes an attitude of intolerance, there is no knowing where it will take one. Intolerance, someone has said, is violence to the intellect and hatred is violence to the heart. I have been known as a crank, faddist, madman. Evidently the reputation is well deserved. For wherever I go, I draw to myself cranks, faddists, and madmen. There are people in the world so hungry, that God cannot appear to them except in the form of bread. A small body of determined spirits fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission can alter the course of history. If I have the belief that I can do it, I shall surely acquire the capacity to do it even if I may not have it at the beginning. Whenever you have truth it must be given with love, or the message and the messenger will be rejected. Whenever I see an erring man, I say to myself I have also erred. When I see a lustful man I say to myself, so was I once, and in this way I feel kinship with everyone in the world and feel that I cannot be happy without the humblest of us being happy. I suppose leadership at one time meant muscles, but today it means getting along with people. In the attitude of silence the soul finds the path in a clearer light, and what is elusive and deceptive resolves itself into crystal clearness. Our life is a long and arduous quest after truth. There is more to life than increasing its speed.